in that is to create a sterile area on the mother's legs and abdomen. So you have the drape and then the high towel. You will need your Mayo scissors for the episiotomy, suction valve, that is to suction the secretion. Once the baby is out, the straight and the curved Kelly used to clamp the cord so that you can cut. And when you cut, you will use your curved Mayo scissors. And then you have the cord clamp. And then you have your kidney basin as the container for the placenta. You will have all forceps with gauze to clean the uterus. And you have 4 pieces of gauze that will be used for cleaning. You will need your 10 cc syringe or lidocaine. But this one, okay, I'll just highlight this. Chromic, your chromic suture, your chromic suture and your syringe should be added at the end of or after the delivery of the placenta. You do not open this one because sometimes the doctor will not perform the episiotomy. So once you open this and there is no suturing to be done after, this will become waste. So sayang siya. So you only open this when the doctor will perform episiotomy. Okay, so normally this is how you will arrange your instrument. You arrange them according to use. Okay, so if you're going to use the Kellys first, so the first instrument to be placed here will be the Kelly forceps, and then you will have your Mayo straight, Mayo straight, that is for the episiotomy, and then you will have Kelly forceps, and then you will have Mayo scissor, which is curved, and then the rest of the instrument. So you just arrange it according to use. Okay, so I'll show this one. It's actually in your it's also in your iLearn. Okay, so these are the instruments that you will see in the paper. Okay, so we have the curved Kelly, we have the straight needle. This is the oval forceps. And then your Mayo scissors, we have the straight and the curved. Tissue forceps, plain, and we call that the tissue forceps. Okay, this is another kind of scissor. We've got gametes or mats in short, but I will see this in the AMC B delivery room. Okay, this is your chromic suture. 10 cc syringe for the pump. Okay. Okay. So these are steps that are used in the delivery room. Okay, let's back to our main lesson. Okay, so sometimes you also set aside gloves for the doctor. Usually, for female doctors, we are using the 5.5 or 6 size of gloves, or 6.5. But for male doctors, we are giving them 7 or 7.5 size of gloves. Okay. So that's the or fove bundle, and then you help the assisting student nurse in positioning the patient. Once it's done, once the patient is in position and the assisting patient is doing the perineal flushing, as a handling student, you do your hand washing and you dry your hands, wear your gloves, the sterile gloves. Okay? So this is the example of how to create a sterile field or sterile area here to the mother who is in lithotomy position. Okay? Different hospital has a different way of doing this one. So for corazon lock-in, the drape they are using, look at the pants. Wala siya sa waist without the you call that open na siya. Okay? So the both and then use the upper part of the pants to cover the abdomen. So that's how they create the sterile area. For AMCB, they're using a different leg or leggings for each. That's why we call it leggings, because it's half and side of the right side of the pants. It's separated. You put it on, and then they have that extra towel, which is also a sterile towel to be basically in the abdomen. So it's different for every hospital institutions. Okay. So after drying and only your surgical gloves, you place a high towel with the monitor's abdomen here. Okay, so a towel placed here, and then allow the mother to the drape. So you're using the drape is on the open bundle. Okay. And then put another high towel under the mother. But in doing that, you will not be your hands. Okay. So wait for the head to be delivered. Once the head is delivered, you have Wi-Fi. Functioning is not advisable. When you do essential newborn care, really essential newborn care, don't do suction anymore. Unless the baby cannot clear the secretions by themselves. Okay? So we are using to wipe the mouth and the nose of the baby. Okay. So in AMCE, there will be times when the doctor will allow you to assist the delivery of the baby. But there are also doctors that will allow you. What you have to do is just to observe what's going on, as in handling to stem them. Okay. So there's a technique for the delivery of the head to prevent lactation and also hematoma in the head of the baby. And we call that the engagement maneuver. Okay, so in the engagement maneuver, you have to support the perineum. Okay, support the using the towel. Okay, push the perineum down to the coccyx. Okay, the other hand is exert pressure against the occiput. It's like you are pushing the occiput to be back, but actually it's not. You are just preventing that the So this is the modified begins maneuver. So here you're using your fingers to push the cranium in front of the stick. But you are using this way. You are placing your fingers this way. Okay. The palm here. Or you can use six finger and then three holding fingers will pushing in the cranium. So this is the fight. This is the first original one. This is the original maneuver. And then your modified. Okay. Now, during the crowning, before the baby is expelled or out, the doctor may perform visually. So visually is done like that. As I say of the baby very new method is also to help release some of the pressure to the fetal. So we have two kinds of visually. We have the midline. So straight from the perineum going to the ano is the midline visually. And then we have another which is the middle-lateral visually or the MLLE. Middle-lateral visually. So this is also the what kind of visually the perform. Is it bilateral or is it midline? Okay, so we are using here the straight scissor. So what is the advantage? What are the advantages of visually? One, it can substitute okay. So laceration is irregular. The edges are like the Z. But when you have your visual, it's easier for the doctor to get there. And then you will have a cleaner scar. Okay. If you need to pressure ahead, and it shortens the last portion of the second stage of labor. Once or after the baby is delivered, stop the rinse and drop the floor. Have used here, you drop it on the floor because it might be contaminated with the mother's pieces. So just drop it on the floor. If you need another floor, then you can ask. When the baby is placed on the abdomen of the mother, continue and suction on the mouth. So when you start on suction always the mouth and the nose. Okay. They are nose breather. So once the nose is here, whatever's inside the mouth will go in. Patent, pag siya the nose, then the baby will aspirate the secretions from the mouth. Next, okay. Once the baby is out, we will be taken on the mother's abdomen. So you get this to the doctor. You can give the list to the doctor. When you have the experiment, okay, you hold it here, and then this is handled to the doctor. Okay, do not give it like that. So you give the handle part to the doctor. Okay, so we have the straight Kelly and then the curved Kelly. But first, the question is when to cut the cord. In the early essential newborn care, the protocol said you have to wait for 1 minute or 90 seconds or until the pulsation of the cord stops. Okay, now the cord pulsates because that is where oxygen and the blood coming from the mother and the baby have their exchange. That is connected to the placenta. So it's pulsating. So you have to wait for 1 minute or up to 90 seconds or until the umbilical cord stops to pulsate, and that is the time that you are going to clamp. Okay. So at the moment a baby is born, 1/3 of the blood is still outside their body because it's still attached there in the placenta. If you delay the cord clamping for 90 seconds, they get 60% more blood cells. So they get enough iron to last them through their first year. They get enough white blood cells to fight infection, and they get antibodies. They get stem cells to help repair the body. So that is why we have to delay cord clamping for maximum of 90 seconds. Okay. So clamp, straight belly.
Ma'am, pwede yung question.
Yes.
Go over bis na 90 seconds, mama na matabo.
Wala lang. Magwa ng placenta. Kakabit pa na siya sa imong cord. Sometimes because placenta comes out after. Or sometimes immediately after the baby is born. Wala lang. When the baby starts to breathe, the physiology of the body of the baby starts to work out. So the lungs, once the lungs is inflated, pag nag-beat na siya, other parts of the body will also starts to work. And so the blood coming from the placenta to the mother, pag mag-stop na siya pulsation, mag-stop na siya, wala na siya ga-pulsate, that means to say that umbilical cord is not anymore working. Because the main function is to deliver oxygen, di ba? So once the lungs will take in oxygen on its own, when the baby cries, mechanism will be sent to the placenta that the baby is now breathing on its own. Okay? So blood that will come in will be less. Yun lang naman. Yun ang advantage. But if you will wait, because before this, actually, when the baby comes out, we're very excited. We clamp immediately the cord, clamp, and then cut. And then later on, we found out that it's actually beneficial for the baby if we delay a little more the cutting of the cord. Okay na ta.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So you clamp, and then you cut here in the center. Okay. So usually, when the nursery nurse will take the baby will go to the nursery with this clamp. But that also depends on the practice of the hospital. Because in Corazon Vaccine, we don't have these two Kellys. What we have is one Kelly and a clamp, cord clamp. So we clamp the cord in this distance like 2 cm or 2.5 centimeters away from the stump here. And then we clamp the second Kelly. So instead of clamping the first Kelly, we're using now the cord clamp, and then we have the second Kelly, and the baby will go to the nursery looking like this with the cord clamp. In other hospitals, the nursery will still have to cut the extra umbilical cord. So they're the ones clumping the cord clamp. Okay. Now the baby will be taken care of by the nursery staff. So next skill for the handling is to do the Brandt and Drew maneuver. Now, Brandt and Drew maneuver is the maneuver used to deliver the placenta. In delivering the baby, you are using the Röntgen's maneuver. Okay, Röntgen's maneuver, but here for the placenta, you will be using the Brandt and Drew maneuver. But before you will do the Brandt and Drew maneuver, you have to wait and observe the placental separation. So rising of the fundus, we have the lengthening of the cord, sudden gush of blood, the globular formation of the fundus. Okay, so usually we are waiting for the sudden gush of blood. It is like when you open the faucet and then blood comes out. Okay, we know that the placenta has now separated from the uterus. That's why there's blood coming out. Okay. And then you will do your Brandt and Drew maneuver. So you apply traction to the umbilical cord. This one. The umbilical cord that is attached to the placenta, once it has been cut, you can roll that. Okay, let me show. Okay, so if this is your Kelly forceps, okay, this is attached to the umbilical cord, you can roll that one to shorten the umbilical cord, and then place your fingers here. The umbilical cord should be between your fingers, and then you can pull that. Okay, that is what you call your traction. Okay, pull to the sides like that. Okay, but make sure that it's not very strong, or else there's a tendency that umbilical cord will break off from the placenta. So just a little bit of pressure, pull down, side up. That is to assess the delivery or assist the delivery of the placenta. And then the other hand should apply pressure on the suprapubic. Okay, you push while the other hand is pushing down. It should be up. It's pushed down and up like that. While the hand that's holding the cord, you have to pull down. We call that the Brandt and Drew maneuver. Okay, so once the placenta is out, you get your kidney basin to catch the placenta. Some doctors will allow you to deliver the placenta because they are gushing over, oh, cute and baby, cute and baby. Okay, you deliver the placenta. So that will be a chance for you to do the Brandt and Drew maneuver. But if the doctor will not allow us to do that, and then next time, okay, you do it next time. So some doctors will use the kidney basin to catch the placenta. Others just touch it with their hands, like that. So they just offer the kidney basin. So once the placenta is out, the assisting will shout placenta out at 10:20. So you, as the handling, should know if the presentation of placenta, the presentation is Schultz or Duncan. Okay, so how do you know it's Schultz and how do you know it's Duncan? Duncan will be the dirty side, which is the maternal side, the one that is attached to the maternal. Amo ni siyang attached dito sa uterus. We call that Duncan. And since it's the part which is not covered by the membrane, that's why it's called dirty. So Duncan, dirty, maternal. Okay. This kind of presentation is what you call your Schultz. This is the part which is touching the baby. Okay, so this is the Schultz, and we call it shiny. Okay. Now, normally, placenta will be delivered within 20 minutes or less. O pinaka-lawig na is 30 minutes. Okay. But once it reaches 30 minutes and the placenta is not yet out, the doctor has to do some interventions to remove the placenta. Okay? When some part of the placenta is retained, so say, wala siya nagwa, the doctor will do the manual removal of the placenta. Okay, so the doctor will insert the hand to the vaginal canal to the uterus and scrape off the placenta, assist in detaching the placenta from the uterus. Okay, so once the placenta is out, you have to count the cotyledons. Now, the cotyledons is like a cut meat, parang nagbilog-bilog. We call that the cotyledons. This one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have to count that. Normally, one placenta will have 20 cotyledons. Okay, but it does open and then see if there is any luhog siya and something is missing. Okay, you can feel that. So it should be actually plain, but when there is a something na may buho, you're missing one of the cotyledons. Okay, so if you look like this is the Schultz, and this is your Donkan. Okay, next is assist the doctor or the midwife in their needs like offering instruments. Wait lang. I'll charge one. Okay. So you're now preparing for, the doctor will use the ovum forceps to clean the uterus. So we have the ovum forceps, yung may buhok again ng instrument. Okay? It will be inserted in the vaginal canal up to the uterus to clean the uterus for any retained cotyledons. Now, after the cleaning is done, if an episiotomy was done also, then you have to prepare for the episiotomy. So you ask the assisting student nurse to open the packet of the suture and then also give you the syringe and lighting. Okay. So when you prepare your needle or the suture, when you prepare the suture, you have to ask your doctor or determine if your doctor is left-handed or right-handed so that you can prepare your needle holder. So I don't have the needle holder, the needle for the suture. I was looking in the lab, all the sutures don't have needle. So I make use of this one. Can you just see it? You see? So this is a straw which is curved. Okay. If the doctor is right-handed, you prepare your needle like this. Okay. The sharp or the curve is going up. And then you give it to your doctor like this. Okay. So that the doctor, when she will receive, okay, it's like this. So the sharp is going up. Because if I am a right-handed doctor, when I suture, I will do it like this. Okay? If I am a left-handed doctor, then you prepare your suture with your suture or the curve going down. Okay, curve mo going down. So that if I am the left-handed doctor, diba, it's easier for me to suture because I'm left. You know. So again, pag left-handed ang doctor, the curve of your suture or your needle is down. When your doctor is right-handed, should be going up. The sharp is facing up. Okay, like this. And then when you hand the suture to the doctor, you use your hands. One will be instrument, needle holder, and your other hand should be holding the suture or ang hilo. We call that suture. Okay, because the doctor will straighten it. If you're not holding the end of the suture, there's a tendency that it will drop down and it will touch the unsterile supplies or unsterile area. So you have to hold it. Okay. Give with one hand and hold the end of the suture with the other hand. Okay. So what will you do when you assist? When you are assisting during the episiotomy? Okay, let me go back to our morning picture. The first picture that we had. Okay. You'll be standing here on the side of the patient.